quite the experience. He's still alive because of what he did, of course. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, we're doing the reading test on Aron Ralston and his experience climbing in Blue John Canyon in Utah. But yeah, after his experience, he is definitely alive. Just a note, right? The president's write a book, but if it's past tense, it's written. Or wrote and then written. Written is verb 3. Write, wrote, written. Has written a book about his experience. So I'm going to ask you some questions to see how much you understand, what your comprehension is. So what did Aron Ralston do in April 2003?
He went to Blue John Canyon in Utah to hike.
He went there to do some hiking. That's right. Now, was it the first time he went hiking? Or did he do hiking before?
He did hiking before.
He did. Yeah, he did hiking. He was an experienced climber. Yeah, that's right. And hiking and climbing in the canyons is just like hiking and climbing in the mountains, right? Because it's all walls. It's just one goes down and one goes up. But either way, you got to go up the mountain, down the mountain. And in the canyons, you got to go down the canyon wall and up the canyon wall. So it's very much the same thing. But bad boy. What two big mistakes did he make on that day?
He didn't have a mobile phone with him, and he didn't tell anybody where he was.
Exactly. He didn't bring a phone, so he couldn't call anybody, and he never told anybody where he was going. So once he got stuck and the trouble came, he was in big trouble because no one could find him or rescue him. So what did happen to him? What happened to Aron when he was climbing down the canyon?
When he tried to it suddenly a large rock fell on his right arm.
Yeah.
It trapped his arm against the canyon wall.
Yeah. So remember, a canyon is narrow, right? So he's climbing down the canyon to go to the bottom. And then as he's climbing down, then this big rock. I don't have a rock sitting around here. I should have a rock on my desk. And like the rock went and jammed in between the two walls. Yeah. Right between the two walls. And of course, his hand was in between the rock and the wall, and this 360 kilo rock was jammed his arm, pinned it against the wall. So it was a really bad situation. He was really stuck. You remember the pictures, yeah, where we showed the rock that was there and where he was stuck? Yeah. Okay. So here he is. He's stuck in the canyon. And his hand is jammed or pinned against the wall. I think there were 3 things that he tried to do. How did Aron try to free himself? How did he try to get out of there? What did he do? He tried 3 things. He tried to get out. He tried to free his arm, yeah? But he couldn't take his arm out. So he tried 3 things.
He tried to pull his arm out. He tried to break the rock with his knife. And he had a rope and he tried to pull the rock away.
Yeah, he had a rope too. So he tried to throw the rope around something and leverage it to try to pull the rock up with leverage, and it didn't work either. So, is he in big trouble now?
Yeah.
Why didn't he order some pizza?
Because he not have a phone.
Oh, yeah, right. Because he didn't have a phone. Because that's what I would have done if I was stuck. I would have ordered some pizza. Then I could hang around and wait for someone to find me. I wouldn't run out of food. Pepperoni pizza. Okay. So he tried those things to get free. It didn't work. How did Aron finally free himself? So what he did get free. He's alive. What did he end up doing?
He cut his own arm off.
Cut his own arm off. So he took a big machete and a big hatchet and he just went, chop, now I'm free, and then went home?
No.
No? Wasn't that easy? Sheesh. That's what I would have done.
He tied a cloth around his arm and started cutting with his knife.
He started trying to cook his arm?
No.
Oh, cut his arm. Oof.
Yep.
Oh my God. Why did he tie a cloth around his arm?
Because he
didn't want to get messy?
No, he didn't want to no more blood.
He no more blood? He didn't want to what? His blood? Lose. He didn't want to lose all his blood. He had to stop the bleeding. Yeah, that's why he tied a tourniquet. I should have checked that word before because I forget what you call it. I think that's what they call it, a tourniquet. Tourniquet or tourniquet. I will put it in the vocab here on the test. All right. So how long did it take him to cook his arm? I mean, cut his arm.
What?
How long did it take him to cut his arm off?
Oh, yeah. It took him an hour.
Can you imagine cutting your arm for 1 hour? Did he have fun?
No.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Was it really bad?
Yeah.
How bad?
Too bad.
What did he say? He said it was
100 times worse than any pain he felt before.
Yeah, 100 times worse any pain he ever felt before. What's the most painful thing you ever did?
I have a burn.
Burns. Those are really painful. Yeah. Ow. So imagine 100 times worse than burning yourself. Don't want to imagine that. That's crazy. Crazy. All right. But he's alive. Okay, so here he is. He's tied his arm up. He's cut the bleeding down. He's free. How was Aron rescued?
Finally.
What did he do then?
He had to go down the canyon wall on a rope. No. Then he had walked through the canyon in the hot sun. Eventually, he met down all the hikers, and a helicopter came to rescue him.
Yeah, it's kind of. I was a bit confused too. I had to do a little research because it says he had to climb down. I thought he already climbed down, and that's how he got pinned, strapped or pinned up against the wall. So, but I did get more information on it, and what happened was to my knowledge is that he actually there was like a canyon plateau. You know how it's like deep canyons and it's flat on top, right? So what happened was he was actually hiking down in the canyon, and then he climbed up a canyon wall, and then when he was on the plateau on top, there was another canyon inside it, and that's the one he went down to explore, and that's where he got stuck with the boulder, the big rock. So he had to climb out of that, and the reason they say he climbed down was because he had to climb back down the other side, back into the valley or the canyon trail where there were people the way back to his car. That's why. So he had to do some up and down climbing. Yeah. And then he saw some more hikers. So how did the helicopter find them?
Maybe the hiker has the phone.
Exactly. He didn't have a mobile phone, but the people he met had a mobile phone and they called for the helicopter. Exactly. And then the helicopter finally came and got him, and they got him to a hospital. And there he is. He's fine now. Now he's a star. Would you cut your arm off to become a star? No. That's a tough one. That's Yeah. No, that's rough. Hey, that's a scary situation. Sometimes people get themselves in a lot of trouble and they have to do very drastic things to save their lives. I remember a story. I think it was his leg in California where same thing. He went off the highway and crashed in the trees and he jammed his leg in the car and no one knew where he was. They never found him. And he eventually had to cut off his own leg to survive as well. So these things do happen. So we got to make sure that these accidents don't happen. That's a good thing, yeah? Yeah. So what two things did you learn today to never do? What lesson did you learn today? Or from this lesson, because this was a lesson. What did you learn?
Bring the mobile phone everywhere and tell parents where you go.
Exactly. Even if you're just going into the city or you're going to go hiking in the woods and you've been there before, or you're going to go boating or something, never go somewhere and not tell people that you're going to go there or bring your handphone. Because if something does happen, you trip and you break your leg in the forest or something and you don't know what could happen. So it's good to have your phone and make sure you always tell someone. And even if you go with a friend, if you're going to go somewhere far or where there could be danger, still tell someone where you're going and bring your handphone with you. Absolutely. Good job. So do you know where you're going now?
Brush my teeth.
What? A barbecue? You're going to a barbecue?
No, brush my teeth.
What?
Brush my teeth.
You're going to go brush your teeth?
Uh-huh.
I mean next Monday.
Uh-huh.
Where are you going next Monday?
Sleep.
Interesting, you macaroni, you. Sheesh. Interesting. So lesson 1 will start next week, Monday night.
Bye-bye.
Night. See you next week. You should come to reading class. Practice your reading.
Bye-bye.
Because you get better faster. More practice.